And the crowd goes wild because Rosie is in the house. It's Rose and Ben, 168 years of fall down 7 times, get up 8. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. Looking forward to the end of the show like I always do, because Rosie brings, at that point, 90 years of compiled wisdom, and she will bring forth a gem to live by that will make all of our lives better. Previous to that time, we got some other good stuff. Starting, thorns and all. Here's Rosie. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a great day to be alive in Alva, Oklahoma.
It is, and it's a pretty day. I was listening this morning to the farm girl, who did a great report this morning, as she does. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. She'll be on again at noon. Noon. And again at 5. Sage Booty. I'm listening to her, and the weather came on right after her. And
Yes.
the guy from Channel 9 is saying, this will be the hottest day of the year.
Today?
That's what he said.
Oh,
I've never known a weather guy to be wrong.
no, not a bit.
I mean, we buy them trillions and jillions of dollars of equipment, and they still are about 50-50 like they were
Yes.
50 years ago. But they make a lot of money, and they buy nice suits. And now what I really like about weather is that they're starting to use more women.
Oh, well, yes, they are. Sometimes I noticed, especially Channel 9, all the ones at the table were ladies this morning.
Really?
They were all ladies, 4 of them.
Now, your favorite TV show is all ladies. The View. You probably watch The View every day, don't you?
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Listen to Rose make that political statement. Just throw it right out there, girl.
I will. I do not like, what's her name, Jay? Big Mouth. Joy.
Now, come on, that's somebody's mother.
I doubt it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. So, Rose, we have a special guest this morning.
We do.
You have known him forever. I've known him sporadically. Well, I mean, I know him, but I'm in and out of the country since I was around him quite a bit when he was like the last 2 or 3 years of high school and around there. I was doing sports at KLV when he was playing ball. So bring him out here. Bring him on. Here we go.
All right. You speaking about knowing, our guest is Tom Crenshaw, has the Crenshaw Nursery. And if you want to know anything, ask Tom. He really does know a lot. You kind of have a hard time getting it out of him, but he knows a lot about things. And fall is coming on, and we have things we're supposed to do and questions we want to ask. And so Tom is going to enlighten us a little bit today. I guess the first thing I want to ask him is there anything we're supposed to be doing with our lawns to prepare for the winter?
Depends on whether your lawn's probably an irrigated lawn or just a natural dry lawn. But one thing that too many people do, even in the heat of the summer, is mow their lawns too short. You need to move your blade up a little bit, make your grass a little bit longer, so that it'll mulch the ground and not let the ground get so hot. And when we get into late September, you need to also start raising the depth of your lawn up so that it's 2.5, 3 inches deep going into winter. It'll help protect the roots of your grass.
Tom, if we have cleared away a place that hasn't been a lawn, it's been rough, but we'd like to take it to a lawn, can we do that now, or should we wait till before springtime to start a whole new project?
Is it sunny or shady?
It's both. So that's another question. We're going to need two different kinds of grass, aren't we?
Yes, the sunny grass would be Bermuda that you'd want to put in there. And you're probably too late in the year to try to put Bermuda in unless you sod it. If you put sod in, then you probably can get by with it. But the seed should have been in the ground probably by the 1st of July. And the shade, then you'd put in fescue. And fescue is coming up time to sow that seed. Basically late September into October.
Oh, really? So the fescue, we could start it out just with fescue, right?
It's a winter grass, yes.
Yeah, and then the stuff that didn't work, you'd know, well, that's going to go to Bermuda when we come into the spring. Or this
You
little
can
lawn.
do that if the fescue burns out in the heat. Then yes, then you can sow Bermuda.
Okay, all right. Rose, I've got another question for you. Have you got one ready to go? Okay.
Go ahead.
So at the beginning of the year, now I've got at the farm, there's 11 acres around the house, so I've got like 3 acres of what I'm trying to have as lawn. And
Happy mowing.
yeah, happy mowing is right. And this year, I mean, we've had some water, which we don't normally have. But my question is, I had it sprayed for stickers early in the year, and of course it washed out. I mean, we had a rain right after we sticker sprayed, so I've got some stickers now. Can I spray those again before winter, or should I, or just leave it alone? Tough one.
You could spray them if you wanted to, if you want to spend that money and time to do so, but it may not be worth it because your stickers are supposedly an annual weed. They're going to die off when it freezes.
Oh, really?
But the little sticker then will come back up next year. So you need to prevent them with a pre-emergent or something like that early in the year.
Early in the year.
So it's really, I mean, you can spray them and you may kill them, but that sticker that is already formed, you're not going to affect, and it'll go in the ground and come back up.
And we're talking like starfish in the ocean. I mean, we got 1 million stickers.
Well, if you do, it's hard to control them by spraying them because they have found stickers in the pyramids that are thousands of years old
Oh, come on, man.
that still germinate.
So the guy that's selling me
anytime that sticker comes up to about the top half inch of soil, it'll germinate.
So does the guy that's selling me this sticker spray know about the pyramids? Man, he's telling me I can knock them right out.
You can knock them. You knocked them right out, but you got them right back too, didn't you?
Well, there is that. Yeah, you're exactly right.
So, you've got lots of them in there, and like I say, as they work their way to the surface, then they germinate. So, to spray and kill them, you can, but unless you have some type of a pre-emergent to keep that sticker from germinating, they're going to come right back on you.
And that's a springtime thing. No use
Well, a
pre-emerging in the winter.
pre-emergent you've got to use before that sticker germinates.
So we do that in the winter.
No, really in the spring.
Okay.
Stickers won't germinate until it's done frosting,
Okay,
because if they do, then they'll freeze.
I see. That's about the only good news you've given on the sticker deal. Our guest this morning is Tom Crenshaw, who knows everything about stuff that grows. So if you have a question, call my phone. It's 405-219-1800. And that reminds me, when you call, I'm not going to answer, so text me the question. That reminds me, we have the Freedom Rodeo starts tonight. Tonight or tomorrow night? Look on the ticket there. we're checking with the expert here. Tonight. It starts tonight. We have 2 pairs of tickets to go 2 pairs, 2 separate winners. So call me on my phone, 219, it's area 405, by the way, 219-1800. If you have a question for Tom, or if you would like tickets to the Freedom Rodeo, or if you'd like tickets to the Freedom Rodeo and you have a question for Tom.
And they're free.
And they're free. They're free. Not Tom. Well, Tom is, well, okay. So Rose, it's the Rose and Ben show, by the way. And our guest is Tom Crenshaw, who knows about everything that's growing. You got another question for Tom, Rosie?
Yes, I do.
Here we go.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I have a big peony bush that I haven't touched all summer.
You got a what?
Peony bush.
Oh, yeah.
And it has beautiful peonies. And also, I don't have a crepe myrtle, but I know a lot of people that do have a crepe myrtle. And when is the proper time to trim crepe myrtles and peonies? Do I cut the peony back now, or should I have cut it back? Give me a deal on how to take care of a good peony bush, and then maybe the crepe myrtle.
Okay, the peony, it will bloom in the spring. It comes up early, it blooms in the spring. Once it's done blooming, you probably should go in and trim off the old blooms and the old seed pods so that it's not putting energy into producing seed, which won't do anything anyway. And then let it grow, keep it watered, and let it grow all summer. And you can start trimming them off down to the ground, I'd say early September, somewhere in there. But if your foliage is still good and everything, I would let it go and continue to feed those roots, because that'll make them a bigger plant next spring, bigger blooms next spring. But if you need to move it or something like that, you can go in, say, starting about Labor Day, cut it off down to, say, an inch or 2 high, which I would recommend you leave about an inch or 2 stub sticking up, because that'll help hold snow on them in the wintertime, more moisture, that type of thing. If you've got a fungus or something like that that's on them and your foliage has gotten too dry and bad, go ahead, cut them off, because it's probably not feeding the plant anymore anyway.
Okay, go.
Don't you want to know about crepe myrtles?
I do.
Okay, crepe myrtles. You normally in the spring, you would trim crepe myrtles back, I'd say maybe in March, April, somewhere in there. If you get too early on them, they may freeze back and you may have to go back in and retrim them again. Once they bloom, you can go in and trim the old bloom off, and that will encourage them to bloom more blooms. And going into the fall, if they get unsightly, you can go in there and do that. But I would leave them, at least a foot or a foot and a half longer or taller than what you want them to be, because they may have that much freeze back in the spring. And that way you can go back in and trim them, and you won't have the unsightly dead stems sticking up.
Oh.
Got everything you need to know there about them, Rosie?
She'll be out tomorrow.
Well, wait a minute. Is my microphone on? You're hearing us? Okay. It has a red light. Okay. Yeah. Then I won't trim my. Well, I may trim my peony bush. It looks pretty good, but it sure did have great big blooms on it.
Well, give it the chance to feed that root.
Go ahead and let it feed. Okay.
A lot of reason why this year the peonies were so pretty was because we had moisture last fall.
Okay. Yes, they were beautiful all over town. Okay. I've got a apple tree that's just loaded down, and it's dripping.
Loaded with apples, I'm thinking. The mic, your mic, we got to change your battery, Rosie. Not in your pacemaker, but in the microphone.
Okay, you're going to have to take over then.
Well, that's okay. Thank you, Rosie.
Hand me those.
We're going to pause to pay some bills on the radio station, and we will be right back with Rosie and Ben and Tom, and then we have another. Well, there's stuff coming on. Hang on.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV.
Alva State Bank and Trust Company, older than Oklahoma, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you.
We love to give back to our customers. Did you know Alva State Bank offers a great rewards checking account program? That's right. You can earn cash back or high interest with our Kasasa accounts. We will even refund you up to $25 in ATM fees.
How do I qualify?
It's simple. Just swipe your debit card 12 times, sign up for online statements, and have one ACH credit or debit post to your account.
Can I do it online?
Yes. Just visit our website at www.alvastatebank.com to see if our Kasasa Rewards program is right for you. We make banking easy. Whether you're at home, the office, or in your car, our online or mobile banking options help you juggle busy schedules and financial needs.
We plant roots where others have branches.
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
Okay, we're back going strong here. We had to stop and change the batteries in the microphone. I have Tom Crenshaw here telling us about things about plants and things to do this fall. I'd also like to ask Tom, I was just starting to ask him, I have an apple tree that's loaded with apples and they're all hanging down. Do we go in there and pick off the little apples, and is it safe to trim any of the limbs, or should we leave the not trim anything, do any cutting? Do we just, what do we do when it's loaded with apples?
Well, you should have gone through and picked about half or 2/3 of those little apples off.
Is it too late?
You're probably not going to get a whole lot more size on your apples at this time in the year. But
When
it's
should
not
she have
too late
picked
to
them,
go
Tom?
in there and do it.
When should she have got them?
Back in the spring when they was about the size of a quarter.
I see. Ooh.
Gone in, spaced the fruit out about 3 inches on a branch, and that way it gives them more room to grow, and not so many that the tree's trying to feed, so those that it is feeding will become bigger size. Your apples are probably not as big as you'd probably like them to be that way. And on the branches, if you're afraid that it's going to break them, go ahead and take some off, because it'll make the less likely that they'll break the branch that way.
Okay. Well,
Wow, that is obviously that's some information you needed.
yes, I'm going to be checking. Okay, this spring, for the last 2 springs I've done this, and this year I didn't do it. I want you to tell about what we should do so we don't have worms in our fruit.
If you're harvesting your fruit and you cut it open, or you bite into it, and there's a worm that's inside it, that worm is laid on a little bitty fruit in the springtime. And there's a 3-stage spray that you do for fruit like that. One's called the color stage, which is when the bloom are just starting to show color. The next stage is what they call 90% petal fall, which is pretty self-explanatory, when most all of the petals have fallen off. And yeah, it normally takes about 2 weeks. And the one reason you don't spray it when it's in full bloom is that you don't want to kill your pollinators. And then the third stage is what they call the shuck stage. There's
What stage?
The shuck stage.
Okay.
There's a little collar that's on that bloom that fruit develops up in, and when it gets big enough, it starts to shuck that little collar off. And it's a 3-stage spray program to get that worm at that stage. Now, if your worm is eating its way in from the outside, that'll be later in the year and more like when it's closer to being in bloom, and that will be a different spray to kill actually the worms that are eating their way in. But the worm that's around the seed is the one that's so disappointing because your fruit will look really good and then the inside of it's just all eaten up.
And you don't know that just by looking, right?
Right. Yeah, you have no clue really that it's going to be that way until you cut some of them open.
Tom Crenshaw is our guest. We got a couple more minutes. I received a question that is texted in. Is that the right way to say that, Rose? It is. Is that just
Yes, I texted.
right? You think that's good?
I think
Rose
that's-
used to be a school teacher, so I ask her questions. She answers me, and we go right on. It works really, really well. We've given away either 2 or 4. So we've given away either half or all of our rodeo tickets. I got to decide how many they want. So if you still would like to go to the Freedom Rodeo, we probably can conjure up a couple more. My text number, my phone number is 405-219-1800. And if you have a question for Tom, text in and we'll get it answered because he knows everything, absolutely everything. And the question that was I'm going to have to kind of rephrase it, and I think this is the way it came out, Tom. We talked about fescue as a shade grass. You did. And then we talked about Bermuda, and this person asks about buffalo grass. Is buffalo grass good for a lawn?
Buffalo grass is a unique grass. It's more for a sunny type of lawn. It's if you're trying to buy buffalo grass seed, you may choke on the price.
Really? So it's exotic, that price?
It's pretty high priced.
How come?
Because it doesn't produce as much seed as other type. It doesn't spread as much, so it doesn't run into your flower beds and things like that. But it's probably not as lush grass for like kids to play on and things like that as Bermuda would be.
Is there a more lush grass for sun than Bermuda?
Probably not. Bermuda lays down a pretty good surface.
It does, and I mean it'll grow in linoleum. I mean, it's tough stuff, right?
Well, if you have to dig it out of your concrete, then yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a guy that was working for me in Oklahoma City called in and said, "I'm going to be a little bit late this morning. I've got some people in my living room trying to remove the Bermuda grass from the cracks in my floor." I went, "Man, we are not paying you enough money. We got to get you some more money." Tom Crenshaw is our guest. I was reminded of a quick story that doesn't have anything to do with the business that you're in. Do you have time for one?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So there is a baseball field in Alva named the Crenshaw Field. Is that named after you?
No, that's named after my dad.
And that would be Bill, right?
Yes.
Here's a quick Bill story for you. Did you play Legion ball
Yes.
after you graduated from high school, I guess?
The summer after we graduated.
Okay. So I'm umpiring behind the plate. Steve Payton is on the bases as well as Smitty. I think Smitty's name is Alan Smith, I think. Is that, do you recall? Anyway, we're the summer help, and I'm behind the plate. For some reason, I remember this. I remember stuff like this, but when I go to Walmart, it takes like 7 people for me to find my car. So I'm good on stuff that was 50 years ago. So Ron Arabello is batting. I'm behind the plate. I call a strike, and this booming voice from behind me goes, "Benny, that was too low. That was a ball." There's another pitch. I call a strike. The same booming voice, but some more. So I pull off my mask, because you remember the seats behind the home plate weren't very far behind it. I pull off my mask, and your dad is standing, looking me right in the eye. And I said, "How low was it, Bill?" He said, 2.5 inches, Benny. Stick with me, and we'll have you be a decent umpire before we get done with the summer. Does that sound like your dad at all?
Not really. Not during the game. Now, he might have told you that afterwards.
Yeah. that was days gone by, son. You played some good baseball. You had some fun, didn't you, in high school and in Legion Ball? Did you play more than 1 year of Legion Ball?
No, because I was too old after that.
You
1
aged
year.
out of it? Because that was the year it started, wasn't
That was
it?
the year it started.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good times.
That was my age group. We're pretty good baseball
Oh.
players. That was our sport. So that's when we got into Legion Ball and started that, and it ran for quite a while afterwards.
And your dad fairly lived at that ballpark. He loved that baseball, didn't he?
Almost, yeah.
And did some great, great improvements in the community.
Right.
Great improvements.
Yep. And
So-
and there's been lots done to that ballpark to upgrade it since.
You know, when I went out to look at the new swimming pool 2 or 3 times, I'd drift over and look at the baseball field. They've done a lot of really good work out there.
Yeah, we very seldom played on a field that was a better field than what we had in Alva.
That's, yeah, right. Our guest this morning is Tom Crenshaw. Tom, thank you for coming out. Rose, you got one more
Well,
question?
I just wanted to say, since we're reminiscing here, did you realize that Crenshaw's used to have a dairy here?
The what?
A dairy? Elaborate on that right quick, Tom.
Did you ever milk cows, Tom?
No. Did you ever hear of Hillcrest Dairy?
Oh, yeah, we toured it
That
when
was
we
the
were.
Crenshaw family.
Is that right?
Yes.
We were grade school kids at Rose Valley. We toured it, and what was the bread place that?
Golden Crust
Golden
Bakery.
Crust Bakery. We got to push our hands down into the dough and watch it rise. And then I guess somebody ate that for breakfast.
At one time, Alva had quite a few different industries in town.
Tom Dinner, right? At the, yeah?
Joe Dinner.
Joe Dinner,
Actually,
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
Golden
Joe
Crust
Dinner.
Bakery. Yeah.
Wow. Mr. Crenshaw, thank you for joining us.
You're
As
welcome.
we have questions come in, may we either get them to you or ask you to come back on the show, or both?
Yes, he'll come back if I twist his arm. Go out and see him at the nursery. I think he's going to get in some mums this fall, and they're beautiful. They're nice, beautiful mums.
Rose, if we lined up the people whose arms you've twisted over the years, they would reach around the globe 3 times.
Okay.
It's the Rose and Ben Show, and we have more coming up. We're going to talk trucks. Tom
Yes.
Crenshaw, thanks for joining
Thanks,
us.
Tom.
We'll be back right after this timeout.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV. Let's talk about your future. Are you looking for a career change or possibly training in computers, health careers, automotive, cosmetology, digital design, electrical trades, welding, or biomedical sciences? At Northwest Technology Center, we offer these programs for adults, high school, and homeschool students from Alene Clio, Alva, Canton, Cherokee, Fairview, Freedom, Ringwood, and Winoka. Call to enroll today at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life. This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
It's the Rose and Ben radio show featuring for one thing, the Freedom Rodeo starts tonight. We still have 2 tickets to it. We've given We've given some away, and we still have a couple more thanks to the rodeo, the old cowhands, and the people at the Freedom Rodeo. Man, we had a good time at the Winoka Rodeo. Those people did such a great job. And they've got their all-school reunion coming up, too, that we'll be talking about another time, because we have guests in the house. Rosie,
Yes, they're my
dignitaries.
We do, and they're kind of my favorite. I live across the street from them. They saved me one day. The whole Botech school came out and looked after me. I had an altercation with a trash can.
Rosie?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. That is
Well,
priceless.
I went trucking out there to get my trash can. It was blowing about 70.
60, yeah. 60
And
gusts
guess
to
what
70.
happened? When I started into the wind, it blew me right over. There I lay on the ground, and instantly, Melinda Barton was there, and then was it Tito? Tino came running over, and I said, "How am I going to get up?" And he said, "I'll get you up," and he lifted me up. And they got Tara Thomas to come over. She took me to the ER, and I recovered, and here I am.
And we chatted with the ladies down at the city hall. Remember that?
Yes, I called down. That was a lucky deal because I called down to find out if it was true that you could get your trash can returned. And she said, "Yes, I'll put you on the list." So once they dump my trash can, they bring it back.
That's a good thing.
That was a good thing.
Keep Rosie.
And not only that, the Botech school cleared off a little pond up there by my house, so you can see the water. And for the last fall and spring, we've got a mama duck with little ducklings. And if you don't think that isn't fun to go look at every day,
You can't beat
that.
duckling looking.
So
you can't.
All I can say is I like the Botech school or the technology school, and it's really been fun to look at those trucks.
Darren Slater grabbing the microphone now. I was able to get Darren to come on because I know some things about him. Darren's mother was my dad's sister.
I think
Does
that
sound
makes
right?
you and I second cousins, if I put my math together right, don't you think?
I think we're closer than that, really. We're like 1.5. Yeah, 1.5.
I can buy
Darren
that.
Slater, ladies and gentlemen, in town from Tacoma, makes that long commute, Tacoma, every day. You almost live in downtown Tacoma.
Really, isn't Alva kind of a suburb of Tacoma? Is that how you'd look at it, or is it vice versa than that?
No,
I mean,
the Wittets established Tacoma, and then Alva came along, I think, later. Is the way that
if you
was.
look back in time, there used to be a couple banks there.
In
and
Tacoma, did there?
Yeah, the old pictures of the main street are quite impressive. So you'll have to do some research there, how that was.
Wow. Rose, did you know that? No, Rose didn't. We found something Rose didn't know. Darren, who you got with you there? Your right-hand man.
Yeah, Jason Perks. Jason lives here in Alva, and he is the lead instructor in our truck driver training program. And so just a little background on the truck driver program, because I've had some of these questions, that we do the truck driver program in cooperation with Central Tech Technology Center out of Drumright. And so Central Tech, which is part of the Oklahoma Career Tech system, would be the state provider, has a statewide contract, or is a statewide truck driver training program. And so, the question is, did we buy 6 trucks? No, we co-op with them, and they have 13 other satellite locations across the state. Jason, local Alva guy here, went to work for them about a year and a half ago, and he does training with our site. We co-op, and Jason does trainings at Northwest Tech at our Alva and Fairview campus. He does the training at High Plains Tech in Woodward, and then Chisholm Trail Tech, that is in their driving yard is in Watonga. And so he does a class in each location. So once he finishes here, I think you're off to Woodward next, and then he'll go to Chisholm Trail, and then he'll be at Fairview. And so he makes that 3-school rotation is how that works. But Jason is the lead instructor and does a fabulous job with that.
You know, it was recently pointed out in the last 5 minutes how important this is. I mean, Tom stopped you on the way out and said, I'm going to listen to this because my biggest problem is I need truck drivers. Right?
Yep, it's a there's a national shortage, and then even here particularly in our district, Northwest Oklahoma in general, there's a lot of openings. Not so much, I guess, over the road drivers that we see, but even local short turn routes. I mean, you see trucks going to Clean Harbors, and those trucks not only go from Avard to Lone Mountain, but they pick up things all across the state. And so, not all of the truck driving may be like what we think, where they're over the road truck drivers going from here to Chicago, and that definitely is. But a lot of these truck drivers that have opportunities can have the opportunities to maybe sleep in their own bed at night, so they're making short runs, going out and coming back in the same day.
Right. One of my running buddies in Oklahoma City drives a route 3 times a week that does Woodward, Winoka, Alva, Cherokee, Fairview, back to Oklahoma City, making those deliveries. He's a single parent, and he's raising his young kids, so he's back home every night. So it works great for him. Truck driving pays pretty well.
Yep. Jason and I was talking as we come in about the average starting salary for a truck driver, and the number that we give is $60,000, and so it's a pretty good opportunity. Lots of opportunity for employment, but then likewise, and I'm going to let Jason speak to a little bit about the details of the program, but the cost of the program is $4,300, and it lasts 6 weeks. So you take 6 weeks of time, $4,300, and the outcome side is an average of $60,000 starting salary. So return on investment on your $4,300 and your time commitment, that's a pretty good turn your investment time and reward back to what the opportunities would be in terms of salary and supporting your family and things like that. So,
and I'm thinking of 2 or 3 people, actually 3 around here that have CDLs. They have other jobs, but they keep their CDLs current to be able to drive the big harvest trucks and to be able with the cattle, moving the cattle and stuff like that. CDLs are a valuable thing to have, whether you're full-time or not.
Yes, and here in our community, we have a lot of local ag producers that may cut their grains, have on-site storage, and then they transport it from here to the Port of Catoosa to sell it there. Well, the Port of Catoosa is just outside of the mileage range where you can self-drive your own truck, and so you would need a CDL to get that grain from here in Alva to the port. And like the co-ops and things that used to probably put that on rail, that's not an opportunity anymore that I'm aware of. It used to unload at Tacoma, they'd kick off 4 or 5 cars, and then they'd pick them back up. That's not the case. So all that grain is sent that via truck, and then fertilizer that comes in is a lot the same way. So you think here in our area how much demand there is and need for those truck drivers, and many of those existing truck drivers fall into, like Benny, you and me, that they are growing more seasoned every year, and so we need some new young ones to replace those more seasoned drivers here over time. So I'm going to pass the mic quickly to Mr. Perks here, and if you'd ask him about some of the details of the training. I think there's lots of interesting things on how long, what they do, things that they're covered, how they're tested, and some of those types of things.
For sure. You just reminded me of something I saw yesterday on the internet, so it must be true, right? That there are states, Oklahoma not one of them at the present time, that are trying to remove driving privileges from people at 80 years old and over. It's a sin. It's a sin they're trying to do. Oh, I'm making a stand.
I know of a couple people that are directly related to me that fall into that category that would definitely be against that. And then you mentioned one of them earlier.
Yeah.
I think she would definitely have an issue with that.
Yes, and myself. I'd be really militant on that thing.
I'd be in a rocking chair then. I ride my bicycle by there every day, and I had to laugh. It wasn't funny because I've tried to back up a trailer And this poor kid or whoever was in there was trying to back that trailer up into right to the red cones. And I thought about thinking he should only do it when it's dark and nobody's watching.
So that whole thing started off with what we should probably stand and applaud when the 90-year-old woman said, I was riding my bicycle by there. That's a fact. And then she'll say things like, I was swimming the other morning at 6:30 in the pool, and I thought, I couldn't drive. Now she's worried that she can't drive. Jason, how you doing, man?
I'm doing really good.
It's really good to have you here in the radio station. I used to know a Perks guy. What's your dad's name?
My dad's name was Benny.
I thought I recognized that name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful name. It is a beautiful name. And who's Maddie?
Maddie, that would be my nephew's wife.
Okay, that's all the Perkses I know.
All right.
You, Benny, and Maddie.
Well, there's a few more.
So how did you come onto this gig, man?
Well, my wife happened to find it on Facebook. She seen it on there, and I applied for it and happened to get it.
What were you doing that you went, well, I'll change jobs here?
Well, I worked for the county for 17 years, and I was kind of maxed out where I was at, so it just looked like a pretty good opportunity to try something different.
Man, it's an incredible place, isn't it? Our VOTEC is...
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah, the whole VOTEC system is just a great place.
I was going to mention to Darren, too, I've got a billboard or two in Fairview, and I was over working them in the last 2 or 3 years, and the trucks were over there. I guess, did it stop in Fairview last year? Was it last year that the driving thing was in Fairview?
Yes, it was there last year.
And you'll go from here to where?
I'll go to Woodward next, and then it'll be 6 weeks in Woodward, and then we'll go to Watonga after that, and then back to Fairview.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, for you, because you're back in the right bed every night.
Yep,
You're
absolutely.
Not having to. We get one of these in Dumas, Texas. You're going to be stretched a little thin, but
that'd be a pretty good trip.
Yeah, it is. I promise you.
But we have other satellite instructors too, like he was talking about 13 other satellite locations around Enid and different places around the state too. And it's not just me. I'm just over the 4 in Northwest Oklahoma.
I would think that'd keep you hopping, man.
Yeah, I stay pretty busy, but I like it.
What is I was saying to Darren when we were talking the other day on the phone, I said, talk about a cinch. I mean, why didn't we think about this? Putting a CDL school in Northwest Oklahoma, everybody up here needs a CDL.
Absolutely. You just about need one anything you do.
Isn't that the truth?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah, CDL's kind of like Jesus, I heard, do you need Jesus to go to heaven? The guy said, Ben, you need Jesus to go to Walmart.
Absolutely.
CDL's the same way, right?
Pretty much.
What is the biggest challenge? Okay, my biggest challenge would be what Rosie was saying. I just hate it when there's a group of people around and I'm going to back a trailer, man. That's when I need to be by myself.
Right. Well, I'd say backing's probably one of the biggest challenges. Actually passing the test and getting their permits, that's a pretty big challenge. And
the written, or you do written and driving?
The written. To get your permit to be able to drive the truck. That's a pretty big challenge for a lot of people. And then we'll go through and we'll pre-trip. So we'll have to name all the parts, what can be wrong with them, how they're fastened.
You got to be kidding me.
No, it's a big
There's
deal.
11 million parts.
Yes, we usually go over 130 parts, and we
That's
have to
close
name
to
them.
11 million.
we name them all, and within about 40 minutes is what our pre-trips usually are supposed to take.
So how tough is this written?
It's not tough for everybody, but some people it's very tough for. Some people it might take 2 or 3 times to take the test to pass it. Other people might pass it on their first test.
So how does that work? So I take it the first time, I fail it. When can I take it again?
You can take it the next day.
And then I fail it again. When can I take it again?
Absolutely, the next day.
and then I fail it.
Keep
We just
taking her
shoot
the
me,
next
or
day.
what do we do?
Yep. Nope. Just keep taking her the next day.
What's it cost?
It's all inclusive with the $4,300 on our test. We pay for that through the
Man,
school.
I could ring you guys out. $4,300. I take the test 17 times.
Well, you do have to pay your own fail fees.
Oh, I see.
That gives you a little incentive.
Right. So, how many people can you enroll in the school, and have you got room right now? And what are we doing?
Right now we have 12 in the class, and that's kind of the max of what we like to have in a truck driving class. We'll have anywhere from 4 to 12 students usually per class.
So when I come out there and try to sign up, and you go, well, we're full, but we'll put you. What are you going to do with me?
You would either go to the next class at Alva, or they could put you in Fairview or one of the other locations.
When's the next time in Alva?
The next time in Alva will be March the 9th.
March 9.
Fairview will be November is when it's going to start.
Rosie, you want to take it in November? Rosie will be over there in November.
I don't have to back up.
Rosie's just discovered what this gig pays, and she's looking for another deal.
One thing I want to point out, because you talked about numbers. So Jason said 6 trucks. 6 is the kind of the max, because we put no more than 2 students to a truck. And so that is the ratio of, so how that would differ between some other schools around the state. They may put 4 students per truck. And so these students get more time.
Yours get more time.
Yeah, behind the wheel. All the truck driving classes done by the Career Tech system, by Central Tech, are all 2 people per truck. So if we had 5 students, still means we'd have 3 trucks, not 2. And so that ratio is what it is, which makes it better. As you know, the more time behind the wheel is the better experience, more real experience, more training, more comfort level.
So Rosie's coming back with the question of the day. And don't forget, here's where you really profit on this show. The last thing that happens in the show is Rosie passes along a gem of wisdom that will help all of us live a better life. We'll be back with more truck talk right after this timeout.
You're listening to Rose and Ben on KALV.
Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center is proud to offer comprehensive care solutions for those who matter most. From rehabilitation and palliative care to skilled nursing and long-term care, Beatles is committed to providing comfort, dignity, and peace of mind. Now, with a second location, the Beatles family continues its long-standing tradition of excellence, serving the people of Northwest Oklahoma with the same compassion and dedication they've been known for. Come by and see them at 720 North Share Boulevard in Alva. Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center, your care, your comfort, your community.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
It's Rosie and Benny on the radio. It's a radio rodeo. Well, not quite, but just about. We're talking trucks, and here's Rosie.
Okay. I see the trucks always in the yard over there, and I wondered if you got the boys out and they got to ride on. Do they drive on the interstate? How far do you drive? But it's as of today, they're still in the yard. And by the way, it's kind of neat if you drive by and look at those trucks it's kind of neat to look over there and see all those big white trucks and the trainers.
Be careful if you drive by, because Rosie will be out there on her bike. I mean, don't hit Rosie.
I have lights.
You got lights? Rosie has lights. Watch for her. So, Jason, what was your question? What was your question?
Usually we're in class for about 2 weeks, so we got to get our permits done and some modules done in the first week. The next week we'll start working on backing and pre-tripping, and then that third week we'll start driving out on the roads, and we stay local until we start testing out, and then we'll start drifting farther on longer drives, and we'll hit the interstates and things like that.
Jason, I see these trucks in masses sometimes sitting in the pullover lanes on the interstates. Why are they doing that?
Well, if it's real windy or something like that and they're empty, a lot of times they can pull over and wait, or sometimes people may get stopped and be put out of service, so they might have to sit there for 36 hours till they get their trucks fixed or They
How
just
long
have a
can a-
rest break.
How long can a guy drive or a person drive without having to stop?
You can drive 8 hours without having a break.
And if you drive that 8 hours, is there a designated time for a break? I mean, a 5-minute break doesn't do you much good.
You have to have a 30-minute break in that 8 hours. And you can drive 11 hours total through the day.
Really, that's
Yeah.
that's plenty.
So I think probably some of those trucks that you see pulled over and maybe have timed out, you'd probably be familiar with more with the railroad standpoint where those engineers time out and they have to swap out. These truck guys and with CDLs with their logbooks, once they max out their drive time for a day, they've got to stop and they're done until that is it how many hours they got to be out of the truck?
They have to have a 10-hour out of the truck or rest period.
So after that they can't go on, so they have to stop during that period of time.
We have given away the last 2 Freedom Rodeo tickets. This isn't the internet wonderful? These people are listening in the Piedmont Pharmacy, which is like 8 miles west of Oklahoma City. So come on up and get these tickets and get on out to Freedom. So there's plenty of rodeo for you. So come on down. So Darren Slater, what is your title? Director, superintendent, president? What are you?
Superintendent's my title, and then just also to point out that Northwest Tech has 2 campuses, have a campus at Alva and a campus at Fairview. In our district, we serve our sending schools at Fairview campus would be, so this is kind of the school district geographical area, so Ringwood, Canton, Alene, Clio, and Fairview. And then at the north end, we serve Winoka, Cherokee, Freedom, and Alva. So our geographical district represents 4,000 square miles, and so from Canton Lake to the state line is our district area, and so that's who it is. And so we have a campus at Alva and Fairview, and I'm fortunate enough to be superintendent.
And 2 beautiful facilities. I mean, Alva is first class and Fairview equally. I mean, it's a beautiful facility.
And we have had 3 classes, I believe, at the Fairview campus here. So we had our driving yard in there sooner. We have a very nice, large yard there we've had classes in. And so this class here represents our first class here. A big shout out to Woods County Commissioners, Shane Vore, our driving yard here that was put in. Shane and his crew are the ones who hauled the rock, packed it, spread it, could not have done it without them. So I'd be remiss without saying that thank you, Shane, and the Woods County Commissioners, because they definitely were a big help in making us get this facility put in here at the Alva campus.
And Rosie certainly seconds what you say, because she rides her bike by the yard every day and goes, man, it's a beautiful yard.
Fantastic facility.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us today. And Darren and Jason, thanks for joining us. This is the most important part of the show. 90 years of wisdom. We're going to Rosie now for the tip that will improve your life. We do it at the end of every show.
Yeah.
Go, Rosie.
All right. Well, here's the deal. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Man, that sounds like J.R. Buckland right there. Go, man, you need anything done around here? Get out of my way, Benny. You got to do it myself.
I'll have a more inspirational one next week.
Oh, no, you're doing great. That inspired me to get up and go to lunch. Darren, Jason, thank you for joining us. And our producer director today, what's your title? Graduate Assistant to the Athletic Program of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, Cade Kennedy. By the way, that's a paid position, which has absolutely killed me here at the radio station, that this young man has found out there are people that pay for these jobs.
Can I ask one quick question?
Oh, sure.
This was a text-in question that I had that inquiring minds are wanting to know about the Winoka All-School Reunion, and then who might be the MC of that event. Do you have any insight to who that might be?
I do not. I know who it's not.
Well, I was just assuming that who you thought it may not be was who it was going to be, and I just wanted to get that out there. So.
No, I'm out, and I don't know who's in, but But we'll find. I'll get that information to you because I know you'll need it and want it. So Kate, are we close? Okay, it's been a great show. Rosie, thank you.
Well,
thank you.
yes.
Wasn't Rosie great? The crowd goes wild. Listen to that. Listen to that.
Yeah.
And they're standing. It's a standing
Yeah,
ovation.
they're
We seldom
bowing
get those.
too. Well,
Thanks for joining us. Kate and I will be in Winoka at 6 o'clock for the all sports media day. So join us there on KALV.
Okay.
Rosie and Ben. out.
Farewell.